Are you the early riser in your house? I'm not. I've historically been the one who loves sleep, one who would be happy to take a nap. But more and more, I guess I'm getting older, I'm sleeping less at night and wake up a lot, and it's normal, it's okay. But my husband is an early riser. He's always loved the morning. Among the many things that we've gotten to learn about each other and all this extra time that we've been spending together, he has some really cool thoughts to share. So on this Marriage Monday, I thought maybe he could share them with you guys. So here you go.
Good morning. Well, welcome to my favorite part of the day. It's sunrise. And I know some of you might think I'm crazy, especially for a Monday morning, but I think it goes back to when I was a kid. I had terrible asthma, and it was bad asthma. I was hospitalized several times, and as I got closer to the evening, I would get more worried, more anxious, and the breathing would become worse. And once it got dark, oh man, I was really stressing out, and it would be a very difficult night. And sure enough, when the sun started to come up in the morning, it was like, wow, I made it. I made it to the morning, and sure enough, as the sun got brighter, everything got better, and it seemed like, it was going to work out, and I would be better later on in life. My father would always go back to the saying that, hey, just keep breathing, the sun will come up tomorrow. I always thought that was kind of funny, being asthmatic and not knowing if I'd be able to breathe, but the sun came up, and he was right. No matter how difficult or how terrible the circumstances were, the sun came up. And I was like, okay, God, all right, things are going to work out. And it made me think of a homily that Father Ed did where he mentioned Paul and that Paul was imprisoned. It actually comes from Acts chapter 16, so I want to read this to you. And I've got a very old Bible. This is a Bible that I got when I was in youth group about 30 years ago. It's been with me. It's got coffee stains and it's fallen apart, but I got little notes in here, and I can't let it go. So it says in chapter 16, the crowd joined in. They showed hostility toward them, so the magistrates had them stripped and ordered them to be flogged. They were given many lashes and then thrown into prison. And the jailer was told to keep a close watch on them. So following such instructions, he threw them into the inner prison and fastened their feet in the stocks. In the middle of the night, Paul and Silas were praying and singing God's praises while the other prisoners listened. What? So they had just been beaten, whipped, chained, and really just thrown away into this prison, and they're singing praises to God. In fact, Paul says later in Philippians, which is an awesome book if you've never read it, I highly encourage you to read Philippians. And it says, always be joyful. This is chapter 4, verse 4 and 5. Always be joyful then in the Lord. I repeat, be joyful. Let your good sense be obvious to everybody. The Lord is near. Never worry about anything, but tell God all your desires of every kind in prayer and petition, is the important part, shot through with gratitude, and the peace of God, which is beyond our understanding, will guard your hearts and your thoughts. So here, Paul's not only preaching it to the Philippians, but he's living it in Acts. He's telling people, hey guys, this is what I do. When times look bad, I know that this isn't the end. God has a plan. And so, what does he do? He praises God. And the other prisoners, who had nothing to do with this, start listening. And sure enough, a miracle happens, right? Suddenly, there was an earthquake that shook the prison's foundations. All the doors flew open and the chains fell from all the prisoners. When the jailer woke up and saw the doors open, he thought, that's it, I'm dead. So he was going to kill himself. Paul stops him, and not only stops him, but he becomes a believer. He gets baptized because of the witness of Paul through this difficult circumstance. So here's my challenge to you this week. Many of us are through unbelievable difficult times. We've lost our jobs. Some of us have had all our worth in the stock market and it's gone. Some are sick. Some are sick and can't go to the doctors or don't want to go to the doctors because they're afraid that they're going to get sicker. Yes, we're all in difficult circumstances. We're all chained at this point. But it's up to you. Do you want to just wallow in that, or can we praise God in it? I think that's why Jesus gave us the Our Father in the first part of it. He says, hallowed be thy name. Holy are you, Lord. Like, yeah, pray. Bring that petition to God, but start with thanksgiving. So what are you going to bring to God today as your petition? But before you bring your petition, what can you thank God for? What can you say, Lord, I'm thankful for my wife, my children. I'm thankful for being able to take a breath today. Being asthmatic, I appreciate that. Thank you for this beautiful, glorious sunrise where I see your transforming power from darkness to light. Thank you for the birds and the chirping. And you can go on and on. My challenge to you is to do it. And I bet if you truly give thanks to God, no matter how bad the circumstance, that peace that Paul talks about that's beyond all human understanding, beyond your heart and your mind.
Okay, guys, so Doug has put a challenge out there for us, and I'm going to remember what I'm grateful for. I have not been immune to the feeling blue about what's been going on, especially as it's impacted our family and different plans we had, especially for our son's wedding and visiting my parents and my husband's parents and our family in Florida. So I really need to do this too. So I'm going to take it to heart, and I hope you guys do too. I'm going to maybe do one of those gratefulness journals. I'm going to start by saying that I'm just so grateful that Ohio has finally decided it's warm and there's a blue sky. I'll start there because it's early for me.
God bless you. Have a great week.
God bless you guys.